Voltron Network.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to Talking at the Movies. I'm Eddie Santonio.
I'm Mo.
What's up, Mo? How did the gig on the weekend go?
Yeah, it was really, really good, actually. I did kind of feel like Saturday afternoon, like, oh my God, I've got so used to, Saturday
Doing
evening, just
nothing.
having dinner, watching a movie, and just having so the actual thought of getting ready and going out was just like so difficult and so stressful.
Remind us who this band is.
So I went to see my favorite band in the world, Hybrid. It was a one-off gig that they were doing here in London at Under the Bridge.
Where are they from?
Well, they are originally a Welsh band. They've had like different members over the years. Like, there's only one original member still left in the band, and basically he's now married to the lead singer. And now they have like a farm like up north somewhere.
Oh, see, you got married and the wife is saying, I can sing, you should get rid of who you got there.
Oh no, she was already a singer beforehand. That's
you had to convince him to get in the band.
Well, I mean, she had her own solo career, and I think they invited her on like as a guest, like a vocalist, and obviously it went from there.
That's how it begins. So
Absolutely.
They were good. It was all you hoped for.
They were good. The crowd were absolutely brilliant. Had a brilliant time. Ended up in like some. This is a strange thing, right? We ended up in like some swank. Like we actually met like these people outside. Like literally, I think like I don't know if it was the amount of gin that I just had, but like I actually had like a moment, like a U-type moment with a girl. But unfortunately, she had to go. But the guy that she was with, he, myself, and like my friend that went, we ended up in like this bar in Chelsea, which is just across the road. And every girl in there, and even the guys, they all looked like they were all just models. And I'm going, is everyone dressed like a model in here, or is this how people used to dress on a Saturday? And the guy goes to me, I think this is just Chelsea.
yeah. That's got to be the area, innit? Chelsea's the swanky part of London, guys, or one of them.
Very, very swanky.
People with money and not a lot of talent like to hang out and pick up rich and famous people to leech onto the circle of life for the famous.
Yeah, I had absolutely no hope.
I'm a little envious. Even though
it was really good. It was very, very, very good.
Okay. So, guys, welcome to Talking About Movies, where we should be talking all things movies and TV. This week, we're going to be discussing episode 1 of the new Chucky show. We're going to be talking You, season 3, reviewing all of that. We both saw it all. I'm, on my own, going to be chatting about Halloween Kills, sequel to the new last Halloween soft rebooty continuation movie. Dune. I fucking finally saw that. Finally got to see it. So I'll be chatting that non-spoiler, obviously, because I know there's a lot of people still ain't seen that. I know what you did last summer on Amazon Plus, so I'll be checking out. Anything else?
Did you check out Foundation?
That's the one thing I didn't have time. I just couldn't squeeze it in. Dude,
come on! You're trying to tell me how much you love that show, and yet you couldn't be bothered to watch it.
There wasn't time. Don't say I didn't bother. Movies that made us as well. You wanted that.
There you go. So you watched that instead of like the next episode of Foundation. See, that tells me you don't like the show.
Nothing has to give. So, you start. The
only other thing beyond that is obviously I got to talk about Squid Games, because I'd only seen the first 2 episodes last week. And you asked me, who did I think was going to win the Squid Games? And I said, obviously, it's the main guy, the protagonist, and I was right.
Spoiler alert. You got to give these things out there, Mo. Damn it.
See, my background as a writer, I knew exactly what was going to happen here. But you know what? I got to say, I actually really, really, really enjoyed this.
It's a good little romp.
I know some people are saying, yeah, it's good, but it's not that good. But you know what? It kind of really resonated with me. I really felt like they went to town on people's backstories and made them feel like they were real.
You actually care about this group of people, like who is you don't really want to see them except for that one fucking backstabbing bastard. You don't want to see them go the way they end up going.
Oh, the best friends.
Spoiler alert, guys. We're gonna get into this. If you still ain't watched it, you're one of those few handful of people on this planet that's never watched it. Beware.
The one guy, like, he bigs up the whole time his best friend, like, through school, and whenever he sees anyone, he always tells them like how amazing this guy is, and what he did to Ali.
That was the one that got me. That was the one that made me feel like, oh, you piece of shit. How could you? How could you? Man, as a family who's struggling, who's desperate. He was the purest person on that show as well.
He was
purest heart. And I guess that's what got him killed, because he shouldn't have been as gullible just to give away.
That was incredibly gullible, right? Oh yes, I'll just hand you all the marbles. Don't worry. And like, surely when he like made him a strap to put him around his neck, she's like, hold on, that's not the safest way to hold these. Like, yeah.
Jeez.
What about now? One thing that I got a comment on is, like, there's some serious social commentary here, right? You know, when they're all back in the barracks, I think it's after game 2 or 3 or whatever, and they give them, there's less food than there are people.
Yes.
And that fight kicks off.
Yeah.
There is only a group of 5 people that are being the assholes, right? If like everybody else had banded together right there and then, they could have nipped it in the bud as a society. And it's kind of like, that's exactly what happens in the real world.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Loudest in the room. Yeah. Get what they want, and if you're meek, you get rolled over.
And then they spice up the game by letting them kill each other, like, in the dark.
That was crazy. Can you imagine the lack of sleep you would not get from that point on? You would not trust any of them to allow you to get any sleep.
Well, not only that, but like, they don't seem to like feed them a lot of food, right? So like, God knows how many days they've been there for. I'm guessing they seem to skip over it, but they don't ever seem to like have like a shower or anything. Like, I'm sure there was one game where they literally woke up and then just said a game is starting.
Yeah, I presume that they probably did it off camera, but it would have been nasty if they didn't. But even the way the girl went out, man, the poor chick, because you really even feel for her, just wanting to take care of her brother, find her mom.
Absolutely.
You know, it's the first acting gig she's ever done. Never acted before.
Oh, really? She was very good. I mean, I thought the acting from the Korean guys was of very high caliber. It was really good. Especially that old man.
I know. He's
the
mastermind behind the whole thing. You son of a bitch.
How did you feel when our protagonist is like basically taking advantage of the fact that the old man had dementia?
Quote unquote.
Was that? What did I choose?
How many marbles did I say you had? For 2. And then he just reveals, so you take advantage of me? You think I'm unfortunate? Oh. And he still gave it up. Yeah, it's it really does just highlights the ugliness that's in all of us, to be honest.
Absolutely. And I looked it up, like that 47 billion won or whatever it was, 45. Obviously, you can tell people have been looking up because Google will auto-complete it for you. Like 27 million pounds or something. Yeah, it's a lot of money. A lot of money.
That was another thing that annoyed me. That there wasn't him asking. Well, he wasn't able to ask anybody the details of a lot of the people. Like, he managed to find the girl's brother to take care of him, but no love for Ali's family. No love.
Do you not think that woman was the craziest woman of all? Right? She opens that suitcase, and it's full of money, and she starts running down the street.
I'm thinking,
close the suitcase. Close the suitcase.
What are you doing? It's going to be all for nothing if that gets stolen. Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
Some great inventive games as well, like the whole tug of war. Thought that was fantastic the way they did it, right?
That is so smart though. Just hold, let them get tired, and the moment they get the slack to do it again, that's when you just pull them off. Or even the glass, stepping on the glass at the end, the last one. Or one of the last ones.
Stepping on the glass.
Yeah, where it smashes through. One glass is strong, and the other one's
You know what? Not only that one would you like obviously poop your brick, right? But the fact that you are so high up and you've got to look down while you do those jumps, man, if you like had any sort of vertigo, you'd be screwed.
Done. Just drop off the side. And that creepy chick, or the sneaky chick, and the bully, the gangster, the way they went out.
At least she did something good at the end, right?
Yeah, they definitely deserve to go out together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my only issue, I didn't like the very end though. His decision, like, get the fuck on the plane. What you doing? Go to your daughter.
I got a feel because they've already started talking season 2, right? And they said
Yeah.
season 2 is going to be more about the police aspect of it rather than the games aspect.
Already going to be a disappointment for everybody. People ain't going to be that
Possibly.
interested in that. What I reckon they should have done, let him go off in the sunset to go see his daughter, let it end.
Yeah.
And they already established in the show that the Squid Games happens in other locations around the world. So next season, put it in France, make it all French people, put it in Italy, like have it be this global show that jumps around continents.
But would you just want to see the same thing over and over again? Whereas this would be like they would do an actual sequel where
they can't top it. They can't top it. They're gonna have him.
Yeah.
They're gonna have the cop because you know he's gonna survive, so he's probably gonna be in the games next season.
What? I think the one thing to remember is obviously this is not an American show, right? So I think the Koreans will probably have a very drastic different way of like doing. Like they probably they don't want to do the same thing over and over again, right?
Yeah, I know, but I would be interested to see how different cultures, the subtleties of those cultures could come out if it was set in different places each season. That would make it a lot more interesting for me personally. But you know, who knows? They could top. You know, who knows what they could do. But so, what do you give it then? Now that you've seen
I'm gonna give that a rock solid 4, man. It's like if you have not seen it, watch it. Like it is one of those kind of shows that
don't let the hype of it put you off. Like it's not gonna live up to your hype. But it's still a good show, still a solid show.
I still have absolutely no idea what in that show has resonated so much with the public.
Hey man, once one or two people start talking about it that have a bit of influence and a few followers on social media, then it's like a wildfire.
It literally it just exploded.
It's crazy. That friggin' one with the honey comb that you have to kind of cut out the image. That is a bitch, man. That one.
You could have easily have gone wrong so easily, right?
It's such a bitch. Fucking some of these games are crazy. Right. So what else you watching?
Right. So you obviously didn't watch Foundation, so I'll quickly kind of go over that. A lot happened and not a lot happened is the only way to kind of put that. Like the next phase of the plan of the barbarians, or I can't remember the name of the race, who basically were at Terminus. The mathematician chick that we haven't seen since the end of episode 2.
Yeah, they showed a little glimpse of her last week though when she's floating.
Exactly. She now turns up. She basically gets rescued by a ship that's got no one on it.
Oh. Is hers? So we don't know what time period is this. Is that?
Yeah, no, we do.
Is it stasis? Does it keep her young, or is it?
She's in stasis, so I believe something like 35 or 37 years have elapsed since the events of when she was last conscious.
Yeah. Okay. That'd be interesting.
So
everyone's gonna think everyone's gonna hate her if she kind of joins up on Terminus because everyone thinks she killed dude.
Absolutely, because she manages to access some of the video logs and footage of Harry's death, and she's basically named as a party. Of those events, even though the guy who actually killed Harry basically did say she had no part in it.
All right. So still good though. You still liking it?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like it's a little bit slow. It seems to be a little bit meandering, a little bit. In fact, actually, I don't even think there was anything with Brother Day and his cohorts at all this episode.
Okay. All right, guys, just to let you know, we ain't gonna be talking about, we might as well chat about it now, it's in the news, about Wide Last Man, because it has finally been cancelled. I'm not gonna celebrate because you feel sorry for everyone involved, everyone out of a job. And it was a big deal that you had the show, which was pretty much directed and written and majority starring women. It's kind of sad. But
it's a bit odd that they made that announcement even before the season has ended, because I think there's still like 3 more episodes or something like that. But what that does mean is it does then give the showrunners time while everyone is still under contract, while the sets are still standing, people haven't gone off onto other jobs, to try and sell the show onto another network. And from my understanding, apparently the show seems to have deviated quite a lot from the source material, which might also be an issue.
Okay. From what was telling me he loves the book, by the way, the original comic book it's based on. From what he saw, because he stopped as well because he wasn't enjoying it. It was all the things were there from the books, but it just had the shitty pace to it, and the books were like real cliffhanger endings, whereas this was just stop doing.
Well, apparently, from what my understanding is, the books were supposed to be a lot more centered around Yorick, who is the last man, whereas the TV series, he was just a bit player part of it.
I don't think it would have helped, to be honest, given how unlikable he is to be around. I don't think it would have changed the.
Well, the thing is, you can have an actor that actually can portray themselves as a nasty piece of work and still be likable, right? So you got
definitely
Kai Wynn from Deep Space Nine, Tony Soprano. They were all very unlikable characters.
Bryan Cranston.
Yep,
Mr. White, piece of shit, but you just loved watching him be that. Do you think it's gonna survive? You think it's gonna find a home somewhere? You think Netflix will pick it up or Amazon or someone?
No, I've got a feeling this one is probably a goner. If it's been cancelled after the first season, there's no built-in audience, right? Netflix generally tend to go for a show that's been around for a few seasons.
Has a bit of a cult following. It must have been, ratings must have been real bad. Real bad.
Can't have been great, yes.
So, anything else?
Nope. So we've just got we've just got you and Chucky, right, from my side.
All right. Well, let's hold off on those. Actually, no. Let's get straight into it. Chucky, what do you think?
It's got the makings of a network show all over it, hasn't it?
Yes, it does.
It literally has like it's been so long since I've watched like an actual network show that I kind of forgot what they were like.
Yeah, and sometimes they can do some good shit, but this wasn't it, man. It wasn't terrible, I'm not going to say that, but it just was a bit off, you know? It was just, like, this kid had no surprise that this doll was talking to him. Like, after throwing out the doll, he seemed to take it very well that he was sitting behind him in this school assembly and just talking.
Yeah, exactly. Silly. The doll just turns up.
Yeah,
and like, no one batters an eyelid. Also, you know, Chucky seems to act almost out of like an act of like charity towards the end, where he says, "Well, you know, your father wasn't any good, so I killed him for you," type of thing.
Yeah. So was that what this is going to be, like a little buddy?
Yeah, we're gonna become best buddies.
Kids that's gonna help him carry him around so he can go do his killings and shit like that.
Yeah. And at the end of the season, the kid's going to be the one that's probably in trouble or whatever, right?
Yeah, or this kid will die and it will move on to another kid.
Didn't like any of like the school kids. What's her name? Lexia. Just straight away, just wanted Chucky to like kill her.
Yeah,
exactly.
Not great.
Same old story. Underprivileged kid, rich fucking family, all that. You know, just so many tropes.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Disappointing, man. I was hoping it would be better.
Oh, you're gonna come back for more?
I was about to ask you that.
I really don't know. I don't. I know it's harsh to judge something after one episode. I may wait a few weeks and see what like word of mouth is like. Unless I'm so desperate, I've got nothing more to watch.
I was gonna say one more. Should we give it one more?
One more. We could do one more.
See whether it's worth sticking with. What else did you watch that I watched? You want to do you?
Oh, let's do you, man.
I love this show, man.
Oh my God. From the moment it started to the moment it ended, it was just pure. This is really a show that you and I should not like and want to watch, right?
It's ridiculous.
But it's so well crafted that it crosses so many boundaries. Like I would love to see the Venn diagram of like how they like measure up all their different types of viewers, because you know you and I, we like those sci-fi and action and kind of shows, right? But you've probably got people over here who like The Crown and like period dramas, also probably liking you.
And chicks that like reality shows definitely love this shit, 'cause it's nuts. I was worried that it being set in the suburbs, it was going to be a bit, I don't really like the setting, but nope, doesn't slow down at all, doesn't stop the body count piling up.
Or not one fucking bit, right? And it is just as crazy, if not crazier, than what's come before. And now, I don't know if you remember, I don't know how much of Dexter did you watch, but did you ever watch the season of Dexter where he teams up with like a female serial killer?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Hannah McKay.
I'm not gonna lie, like It hasn't been out long, so are we going into spoilers on this, or do we want to hold off?
Oh, it's tough, man.
Probably not
Because
going to come back to it, are we?
because there's so much to unpack. And I don't want to spoil it for folks, but
Right,
man,
well,
like you said, we're probably not going to come back to it, are we?
yeah. So, spoiler alert, guys. Skip forward about 2 minutes if you don't want to hear this. But I love, man. Like,
Oh,
she's crazy. She's sorry. Don't get me wrong. She
the
deserves.
actress was so good at portraying that as well.
You could argue she stole the show. As
Yeah.
far like she was a true star of this season. You could argue that, 'cause I think she did performance-wise. So it is a shame that she most likely ain't gonna be around anymore. Like I love her. Love her.
Yeah, it was great. And the way she just the eyes as well. Like she
Yeah.
had that proper crazy eyes.
Sympathy that she can emote sympathy and craziness just within a flash.
But you know the way the way that he is in the library and he meets what's Marianne. And I think it's in the second episode, and you instantly know
Oh,
he's gonna
no.
fall for her.
Oh no. That's what I was just saying. Like, oh, don't do it, Joe. Just chill.
Just between the two of them, they are just so psychopathic. And Joe seems to have some kind of control, but like,
Yeah,
but it's easy for him to lose it as well. Whereas Love, she just seems to be a pure cold psycho.
Way more on way more of a snap, harsh decision. He thinks his stuff out a little more. He'll sit and watch them and follow them around.
The anti-vaxxer, like the way she just goes up to him.
That was subtle commentary from the writers of this season, fitting in the whole. There had to be, man. It makes you think. When did they film this? Must have been all through 2020. They kind of
it was because they do mention COVID a couple of times, don't they? Because they say about the fake, or was it? I don't know if it was a fake vaccine or whether it was an experimental, expensive one.
Anti-vaxxers was hilarious.
Yeah,
but could you blame him though? Knowingly exposing your baby to chickenpox that nearly killed your kid.
Absolutely. I can probably like completely understand like why one would want to do that.
We actually helped him. His immunity now is naturally stronger. We helped him.
He could have gone deaf and blind, but we've helped him now, right? The actual supporting cast were great. That couple with the with the influencer and like the He-Man, bloody hell.
And they came through it almost untouched, stronger.
Not
you could
only
argue
did they come
stronger.
Untouched, but they capitalized on it. Like, I choose to go back into the cage.
Yeah, this new form of therapy where couples get in a cage. That is mad. I love that.
I love the way she solves it in the end. Like when she suddenly realizes that she was so crazy.
Yeah, there's a lock on the inside. They don't trust each other. They know. Wow. Yeah, as soon as I saw them hiding the locks in there, I kind of knew that either one of them will end up in here or it's going to come into place somehow, some way.
So many just great moments in this, right? When as soon as like the Theo, the young boy from next door, like basically when they're riding on that scooter and they fall over and tumble, I go to him, you're gonna die soon, boy. You're on the road to death.
You're playing with fire. Admittedly, I didn't expect it to be her that would go for him, but
yeah, one thing I really, really like though is Joe seems to have this this unnatural skill of just evading everybody and being stealthy and being able to go. But all of a sudden, the news guy can see through all of that. Like when he turns up at meetings, he notices him there. When he's following him, he notices him.
Yeah, it doesn't blend in as much as he usually does. Even though he's gone back to New York at the end. Right back to where it all began, where he had to run.
Is he? Hold on, is he in New York?
No, in Paris. You're right. Paris. Yeah. Paris.
How does he get to Paris? Like, he must have a whole new identity already, right?
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah. Funniest bit of the show when like they've got to rebury Natalie. Yeah. And he says, I spotted a place, and he takes her to like that building where they've got the foundation.
Yeah.
And she goes, what do you do? Do you just drive around looking for places to bury bodies? And he suddenly clocks on. Like he's
and he starts revealing all these other people that he killed. He's like, what did you do? I had to chop him up. It's like, what?
No, but she's clocked that he's looking for a place to bury her.
Yeah, but I'm saying like there's the next conversation where she kind of realizes he's killed a lot more people than what he just did in LA when I knew him. It's like, Yeah,
Crazy,
man.
crazy,
I think
crazy.
people
And
like
you
this
see,
truly exist in the world.
oh, absolutely, because you see like her mum's craziness comes out a little bit as well, where she burns down the
Yeah,
vineyard.
yeah, yeah. That kid with the baby that she snatched
Yeah,
didn't have a
just
chance.
great. And oh my god, do you not love the fact that there is a season 4 coming?
I do. I'm just wondering how long can they keep this up though? Is he like how long this whole fall in love, stalking a chick, manipulate? Like how long can they keep doing this? Because this could have been a cool end. This could have if they
I,
decided
I,
to.
I, I don't know. Hearing he's like in a monologue, I just love it. Like, you know, the way he rationalizes
Yeah.
everything. He goes like, "No, I should have known. Like, you've helped me. You, this is mother issues."
You. I can fix you. I can fix.
It's just great. It's fantastic.
I
Just
do.
imagine this show started off as like, was it like a Lifetime show or something?
Yeah, just something that could have easily just come and gone, and no one would have known
Yeah.
about.
And Netflix has turned it into this absolute juggernaut.
Phenomenal. I think it's like number 1 in most countries now, taking
Yeah.
over from Squid Game. So people watching it, love it.
Love it, love it, love it. This
I actually want to watch it all again. I'm not even kidding. After I finished watching, I was like,
from
I want to
season
watch.
1.
I want to watch season 1 again. I do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's one of the. It's what I was saying to somebody. It's almost as funny as watching a sitcom. This show.
It is.
Do you know what I mean? There
really
are
is.
genuine so many moments like you kind of think, am I sick in the head that I'm finding like this piece of dialogue is actually like really funny?
Thumbs up. What do you give it?
This is, you know what? This is about as close as to like a 5 I could give something. I'd probably give it a 4.5 or something. Whole like the swingers stuff that we didn't even talk
Yeah. Dude's jacking off in front of the mirror. I was like, watch me. And what was he doing? Was he like just fingering his backside? You see that? He
Oh
was
yes,
jacking
I
off.
did wonder that. Yeah, but when they brought the camera down, it didn't seem like he was doing any of that kind of stuff. But just
Good.
yeah, I do wonder if Marianne will feature again because I did like her.
Yeah. Will they?
Because obviously she knows the truth now of what's happened. And I was kind of thinking maybe if they can like not do it for season 4, but like in season 5 he kind of just bumps into her when he's on the run or something.
I'm trying. I should look them up because there are books, but I don't know how many. I can only see like 3 of them on Audible. So I don't know whether there's only a trilogy or whether there is actually more. That is it getting to a point where they're making their own story? Is that a good thing, a bad thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
yeah. Same. 4.5. Love it.
The double team was like great.
Yep. Don't get put off by you looking like a girly show if that's how you view some shows like that.
It's as manly as they come.
Exactly. Jump straight in.
It is actually great. Season 3 is actually full of a lot of testosterone.
Yeah. The fact that those two went at it with once that's that whole thing where she admits to killing the chick and they know that they heard them upstairs, but they're trying to act like it's not natural. And then you just see the little twitch. Like, they know. Everyone just fucking starts running. And them two end up having a bow and arrow fight in the garden.
Yeah. And then he's going like, don't worry. She knows Krog McGraw.
Shit. Yeah, too good.
Loved it.
Oh, man. All right. So, I'm going to chat. Oh, what should I do first? Movies that made us. Won't linger on because you're going to eventually watch it.
I'm going to watch like a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, so we can have a proper conversation about that. But yeah, it was good. A lot of them Halloween, I believe, and Friday the 13th. Was there Halloween on there?
Well, I know there's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street's on there. Friday the 13th is on there.
Then there's Aliens.
Yeah, Halloween is on there. They talked about the whole Captain Kirk mask that they used. The old trope. To create
is that the original John Carpenter one?
Yeah. Robocop is another one. That was interesting to see some of the other alternatives the people that almost played Robocop.
Like,
I don't want to ruin it. You're gonna see it when you watch it. It's hilarious. But let's say one actor who does pop up in Verhoeven's other film, Total Recall, he almost got Robocop, and he wanted to change the script. And he wanted Robocop to have a harem of women. How would that make sense?
Don't tell me Michael Ironside.
You'll watch it find out. But dude, Verhoeven's a lunatic.
Oh, is he?
That's all I get from listening to what they're saying. He was just a nightmare lunatic to work with, but crazy genius is buried in there, man.
It's shown in the art.
There you go. Oh, and they get onto aliens as well, which is good. I guess a lot of this stuff you heard, you know, how he's at war with the unions, all the crew in London where he was shot, or
so is this Alien or Aliens?
Aliens, Cameron.
Oh, so Aliens. Cameron. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
So we've heard a lot of this, but it's still interesting to hear the people and the players in it, and they get to go anywhere to tell some stories. But yeah, I don't want to get too into it because I want Mo to watch it so we can actually chat about it properly. But still interesting, still cool. Better voiceover than it did in the original seasons that were just annoying.
Really? I thought I loved the voiceover from the original season.
It was too zany.
Yeah, that was what was like so good about it. Because a lot of the stories they tell you are very zany.
Yeah, they're zany enough. You don't need the voiceover trying to cut jokes.
You do.
I know what you did last summer. You didn't. Why did you decide not to check this out after reminding me to watch it?
I did not have enough time.
I did. Oh, you did go out though.
Yeah.
It sticks to the basic concepts of the original movie from the 90s. Was it early 2000s, 90s? When did the original one come out?
Was it 97 or 98? The original one?
90s, yeah. But there is a twist. Should I ruin it? It's not even a ruin. It's literally the first episode. Basically, you start off with the main protagonist. You think are going to be his two twin sisters.
Yeah.
But it turns out one of the sisters ends up being the one that gets run over. Unlike it being just a regular homeless guy in the original film, this is one of the twin girls gets killed. And the group of friends, and it gets a bit dumb when these friends were supposed to know this girl, like they didn't like her as much as the other twin. And the other twin was the one driving.
Yeah.
But they also seem to be all together with like, let's just hide the body and pretend it never happened and say she ran away. It's like, you knew this chick. You're best friends with the twin sister who's right here. Like, it just got to a point of it just being dumb, to be honest. But then it turns out that the twin who we think died wasn't the one who died. It was the other one. They flipped places. And it all gets a bit convoluted.
Right.
But it is actually more watchable than I expected it would be.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, after saying that the trailers look quite generic, you're saying that you enjoyed watching them.
Like,
more than Chucky.
Oh, way better than Chucky. Like, by the end of the episode 2, I was like, there's 2 more episodes here, and I actually genuinely want to see what happens. I'm actually into this, so I kept going. So yeah, only 4 episodes out right now, but
interesting.
It's not a hate watch. It could easily go downhill. Stupidity can always take over these sort of shows.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I ain't mad at watching it.
And I'm assuming there's, other than the title, there's no real link to like the existing films.
Concept's still the same.
Same town.
But none of the people. Oh, I don't know what the town was that they're in. Yeah. But yeah, all the killings, all the real crazy stuff doesn't really start happening until like I think the very end of episode 3. That's when it kind of kicks in. You think, oh, okay, here we go. And it's a lot more random as well. The people are dying. They're not just the people who are in the car that ran over the person.
So is it the twin sister that's doing the killing then?
That gives things away for later episodes, or like episode 3 or 4. I don't want to give you too much, but yeah, people bodies start dropping all over the place. Random people as well, kind of brutal. So yeah, why not? I'm gonna keep going with this. Halloween Kills, partnership with Blumhouse, and I guess Warner Brothers, I guess, because if it's on HBO Max in the US, it must be. So this kind of ruins what they established in the last film. They really kind of had a good full stop for Michael Myers. They trapped him in the basement, the house burnt down, and you kind of thought, yeah, this really ties up the story, that because it continues on from like the first.
Hold on, so I just want to get this right. So this is so there was a Halloween film that came out quite recently, right?
Yeah, this picks up to that one. This is a sequel to that one. And that one in turn picks up from the original ones back in the 70s.
Right.
Because Jamie Lee Curtis is back, but now she's a grandmother. So she's back, her daughter and her granddaughter, and they're all kind of being chased by Jason. And the last movie kind of gave you a good full stop for it. Oh, he's dead, just let him die. But he's back. He got out. Kills all of the fucking firemen that were trying to put out the fire, slaughters them, and then it's jumped the shark now, because you should never root for Michael Myers. You should be rooting for the people to try and get away, and he's behind you, and but By the end of this
Really?
film, you were literally cheering for Michael. There at the end
Surely
of this film,
Michael Myers is the hero of these films, right?
he is now. Just by the end of this, you're like he's being surrounded by this whole town because they're just the town basically gets to a point where like enough is enough. We're sick of this. 40 years, 40 years we've been doing this. We're done. He's dying. We're all gonna get him. And it gets to a point where they all surround him, and Michael just goes fucking straight Jackie Chan and all of them. It's fucking hilarious. And but it's just stupid. You should not be rooting for him, but they made everyone else so idiotic, and he never runs. Yet people point blank cannot shoot him until the end. But for the most of the film, people shooting him, and somehow they're missing. Their guns are getting banged on the walls, and they're shooting themselves. Like it's a slapstick comedy. And it's just dumb.
It's been a while since I've seen the Halloween films. Is he a supernatural being?
I'm gonna give it away. So again, you want to skip? Skip. It basically is. They basically establish that the more he kills, the stronger he gets. So there does get a point where after the whole movie of people somehow missing him when they shoot him, even though he never runs, he just walks everywhere. Yeah. It gets to a point where it's point blank. They're just shooting him in the head, stabbing him, blasting him in the chest. And you think he's down, he's dead. Everyone's bashing him and sticking him with pitchforks. He's done. And it's like, but the more they kill him, the stronger. The more he kills, the stronger he gets. Suddenly he just gets up and then just starts going to ham on everybody. Yeah. And it's like, oh, so now there's no end to him. You can't kill him. What's the point? Where can this go? It's like, if there's no rules to this, then what's to get invested in? Like, what's the point? Everyone might as well just kill themselves.
Well, isn't that whole thing with these? Like, this is what, like the 10th film in the series or whatever it is. It's
but
like the
these
rules
ones
do fluctuate. Yeah.
Yeah, but technically, it's only I think the first two, Halloween 1 and 2, back in the 70s and 80s, right. And then it picks up with these ones. So all the other goofy ones we was going up against other people and they don't count. But yeah, it's just too much, and I think there's supposed to be one more coming. This new trilogy. So what's the point? What can you do? Unless they cut off his head or something. Should probably be adequate. So I'm gonna give that one a purely because it did make me laugh because of how stupid it got. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Yeah, comedy. It shouldn't have been, but that's what it turned into. Now the headline, Dune. Mo, I know you're thinking about whether you want to see this at home or in the cinema. This is a film you have to experience on the biggest screen possible. This deserves a cinema viewing.
Now, is that because the film is cinematic to look at, or is that because the film is good?
For me, both. But I'm already familiar with the Dune story. And it can be a confusing and convoluted story if you go into this without a clue of what it all is about. Yeah. So it's hard for me to kind of say whether someone's going to like it or not. I think you enjoy Foundation, and tonally it has a similar tone to Foundation. So I think you could get into this. I think you will like it.
Is there like long bits of dialogue that like can be difficult to follow and understand what's going on?
Like I said, I know what's happening, so
yeah,
I kind of know what they're talking about and who they're talking about because I'm so used to the story. But
yeah,
it could be for some people, it could be very much of what the fuck is a Gunjabar and what's a Harkonnen, like who are these families? Tarakas?
Right. Well, this is it. So there's gonna be lots of references to like names and places and wars and things that happened in the past.
You see a lot of it. I think it does a good job of simplifying enough the story without dumbing it down. Like I enjoyed to share this. I want to see it again, and I think I probably will on Friday. I'm probably going to go again, and I haven't had that feeling in a long time for a film. A damn long time.
Did it have? Because I think the other thing is obviously there's a danger that if we don't get a sequel, how does the first film end?
Do you remember? I'm not gonna spoil it, people, if you haven't seen it yet, so don't worry. But
yeah, I'm not literally asking how the film ends. I'm kind of saying like, are you gonna be like really disappointed because it's basically a cliffhanger before all the good stuff?
If Fellowship of the Rings ended, was the only one of the films, how would you have felt? Do you remember how that ended?
It would have been like a footnote in the history of cinema.
Yeah, it would have kind of been forgotten.
It would have been rebooted by now.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, it's not a full stop at all. It is definitely we're in the middle of this story.
Yeah.
You know, there's things that need to be dealt with. So it's not a nice, and if they end it now, you can be satisfied. No, you won't be. So they have to make, for this film to have any real relevance, it needs to have a sequel to tie up this part of the story.
No. Did you enjoy it as much as you thought you were gonna, from like seeing the
Way
trailers
more.
and the excitement?
Way more. Yeah, I was a little worried, and there was some negative reviews that I'd kind of come across. So I was worried that it's not going to live up to what I was hoping it was going to be. But I enjoyed the shit out of this, man.
What's the pacing of the film like?
Like I said, it's kind of, you like Foundation. It has that sort of tone to it. That's kind of what I'm saying. It's not an action movie. Don't go into this thinking it's an action. There is action in it, and it's massive in scale when it happens. But that's not something that's going to be happening every 15 minutes. Most of it is the character stuff and learning what this world, this universe is.
This film's got a bomb. If you go and read the like comments for like Foundation, a lot of people are just saying it's just so slow. I've got a feeling from what you're saying, then the word of mouth from your average cinema goer is going to be bad.
I'm worried that regular people that want a Fast and Furious type experience from this.
Why is it so extreme? Why do we have to have like Fast and Furious on this end, Dennis Villeneuve on this end? Where's like the medium?
It's a shame, but and the fact that it has been released in the States day and date in cinema, that is, like I said, that HBO Max thing is just going to kick it in the balls, and it's just not going to be. Well, I don't know. Maybe it'll surprise us and it will find some audience, enough of audience. It has done well internationally, so.
That might have been the better part of their strategy, right? Because unfortunately, when they do those HBO day and dates, what happens is where that movie hasn't released, it's almost like it's a home release for the entire world, right?
Yeah. Basically.
Whereas this time, it's one of the final territories that it's opening in.
Yeah. So I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say optimistic that they will get to a complete story of Villeneuve, because it's and the scale of it, like. I don't think it's been so long since I've seen a film that legitimately feels massive, like just epic in scope, the sets, the landscapes, just the way everything's just put on screen, and my eyeballs are just like, give me this in my veins. I'm loving it. It's beautiful, man. It's genuinely a beautiful film. I love it.
Right, I'll try and squeeze that in on Friday.
So you might hit it. But yeah, go see it. Give it a chance, people, man. Come on, support
hold on.
Epic cinemas.
So the most important question here, where does this fall on the Salem scale?
Oh, man. I tried to
remember, he is a midnight goer to Fast and Furious. He didn't walk out of Tenet.
Well, I tried to soften it to kind of explain and establish the world. Like, if you're unfamiliar with this whole thing, this is what I tell Son, but if you're unfamiliar with all of this, view it as spice is oil. That is this substance that everybody wants. The world wants oil. And imagine oil can only be found in one place, in the Middle East. And the planet of Dune is the Middle East. Think of it that way, with no big government.
So is spice then not a reference to like the whole spice trade of like the 17 and 1800s?
I think
because remember, spice was like this whole new thing, like you could only get from like that part of the world.
You could interpret it that way, but I think oil is more contemporary in a sense that you need oil for the world to function at this point, because we haven't really switched over to electric and all of that. And that's what spice is. It has multiple applications. It can open your mind and be an hallucinogen. It can be a poison. It enables navigators to travel the stars. So space travel can't happen without spice, which basically cars can't drive without oil. So, but view spice as oil. And all of these different houses that are fighting over it are different countries: America, Russia, China, Europe as a single entity. View it that way. And it all kind of makes sense when you see that. And there's the whole thing with Chalamet's character. That's something else that unfolds that you'll figure out for yourselves. But Once you view it that way, it kind of makes more sense of what all of this is.
Right.
It's good. Go see it.
What do you give it then? What's the star rating?
Almost don't want to rate it. I almost don't even want to. Based on my first reaction, I'll give it a 5. But that might change when I see it Friday. I might be like, I don't know, what was wrong with me? This is a 4 movie.
We don't hand out 5s here very easily. I can't remember what the last one was.
I haven't wanted to see a film straight away in the cinema for so long. So this has to be a 5. Deservedly so. Deserve it. So yeah, go see it, guys. Some more trailers. Let's do it.
Right, let's do it. We've got a ton of trailers. Some we'll lament on, some we'll go over very, very quickly. But first one up, Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm, season 11. Finally, I don't know, after 2 years.
I've watched like 2 seasons.
This show has got 11 seasons over almost like 20 years.
It's insane.
Like,
it just keeps going.
Whenever he wants to do it, HBO are ready to do a new season. That's like the deal that they've got. You want to do it? We'll do it.
It's like this and Always Sunny. They're just like the little trains that could. They just kept going.
Yeah.
They're not shows that have these massive audiences, but they're just enough to just keep on going.
But like, it's kind of odd because you really love It's Always Sunny. It'd be interesting for you to go back and watch this from the beginning and just binge the whole thing.
I did like it. It wasn't like I disliked it, but I don't know. I mean,
it is genuinely funny.
It's
like,
just cringe. Cringe just gets to me sometimes. I can't deal with that sometimes, man.
It can be a little bit cringe, but it's got that whole there is no script. They have like the outline of an episode and they just go with it, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Right, next up, The Black Phone, a Blumhouse movie.
Yeah, what the hell? Ethan Hawke kidnapping kids?
Yep, absolutely. So after being that's what he appeals to you. After being abducted by a child killer and locked in a soundproof basement, a 13-year-old boy starts receiving calls on a disconnected phone from the killer's previous victims.
Great concept. Could be interesting. Could be.
Actually, I don't like these types of films, but look at that trailer. Actually,
why don't you like it? It
does look very interesting.
What's wrong with these type of films?
And again, what I like is like this. This is a cheap movie, but you look at it and it looks like it's a film. It doesn't look like it's it's an overly digital, cheap, nasty production.
Unlike one of the other trailers that we're going to talk about a little later.
Oh, really? Right. Okay. Next up, I'm not going to go on this one for too long, but they've got another teaser out for Marvel's Hawkeye.
I didn't watch this because I've seen enough. I'm ready to just watch it.
Yeah, again, it just raises the excitement levels. Happy to want to watch the next one.
Yeah, say Batman, say Batman to the end.
Right, so Peacemaker. You know what? I think John Cena has found his niche.
He has. He really has. He looks like he's having a blast.
It looks like he's having a blast. It looks like a great show. The fact that they've even got like an old ass Robert Patrick in to be his dad, I thought that was a great little touch.
Yeah, the shot of all of them walking in slow motion on the pavement, and he just got eagerly. Was it eagerly?
Eagerly,
yeah, eagerly.
Eagerly at the
just walking next to them. Oh yeah, no. What the fuck? Yeah, this could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
James Gunn, you wrote this damn quick, man. When you actually trying to think about it from when he made Suicide Squad, it's like, geez.
I do wonder if in these smaller, like 1 hour chunks, this will be a far better narrative story than the film.
Suicide.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out. Was it January?
Yeah, I think mid-January this is coming. Yeah.
Let's do it. Marvel's Hit Monkey. This was a better trailer because you actually got to understand what the hell was going on. Even though it's still a mad premise.
Yeah.
Like
what is the premise here?
That this chimp is a hired assassin that just goes around killing people. But the fact that Jason Sudeikis, his character, I guess he gets killed and haunts this monkey, and I guess he's training him and giving him the orders of what to do. So I guess he provides the voice that the monkey can't provide for the audience to actually have a conversation.
You know what? It just reminded me of something.
What's that?
You were supposed to watch. I've watched it all. That's why I didn't get around to watching. I know you did last summer. You mentioned John Sudeikis. We were supposed to watch all of Ted
Oh,
Lasso.
you had to remind me. Yeah, but once we started saying that all these other shows were coming out, I thought it was an unwritten rule that okay, we need to focus
Oh,
on
I
the new
watched it
stuff.
all.
Yeah, but what?
Right, so we'll talk about that next week. I won't talk
Yeah,
about it now.
yeah. So yeah, this looks like it's gonna be nuts. It's off the wall bonkers, but sometimes that's good. So this could be a laugh. So we'll see.
It does look very over the top, sort of brutal. I'm kind of ready for that.
Yeah. How much of the DC fandom did you watch, man?
None of it, because I think that kicked off right about the time I was heading out. So I kept getting I saw like your guys' texts that were happening. For other people were like texting me and stuff.
Yeah. So we got to look at Fury 2, or Shazam 2, excuse me, Fury of the Gods. I'm not that looking forward to this, but then again, I wasn't looking forward to the original Shazam film, and it turned out to be better than I expected. It was
I think I've put the wrong trailer in here because there's an actual trailer as well, isn't there?
Is there? Because one I saw was like a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Actually, it might have been. You're right. Actually, yeah. Because he was talking about, "Hi, I'm Zachary." You know what though?
Yeah,
but it's you know what? I actually do like the aesthetic and the idea of what they're doing with the sequel. And I think the thing that saved the original film is that Zachary Levi is just so goddamn charming. He's such a likable kind of guy.
He is. And guys, if you want a more in-depth discussion about DC fandom, you can check out DC versus Marvel podcast where me and Uz go deep into everything that was unveiled during that, including this. And my biggest thing about this is that it's the Shazam family that's around him. For me, it devalues Shazam as a character. Because like you've got all these half dozen other kids that are doing the same thing. It's like, there's too many of them. It's like a soccer team, just get rid of them.
Yeah, but they'll all have their own spin-off films and TV shows, right?
They're all the same. They're the same as him.
It's the personality. Well, it's the Ninja Turtles. They were all the same if they all had different personalities.
There's only 4 of them. There's like half dozen of these bastards. But
that's only 2 more.
Yeah. So we've still got 2 years for this one. So, but not a bad look. Black Adam.
Now, you know what? I've got to say, the problem with like dropping so many trailers in one go, I was starting to wonder which one of these trailers is real and which one are like, people put up fake trailers.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these ones weren't coming from DC themselves. They were coming from like One Media and like all of these other like YouTube channels. And you're kind of like, I don't want to get caught out and watch a fake one.
It's why you get used to the channel. One Media always puts out a bunch of shit. But yeah, this Black Adam one, little teaser. Don't really get to see him do much. Just do what is expected overpowered self. You know, The Rock has to be the most kick-ass person in the room.
I've got to ask a question. This is like, and I think most people are going to be like this, right? Because no one really knows much about Black Adam. Is Black Adam called Black Adam because his character is black or because he does black magic?
It's the black magic aspect of it.
Right.
He's not actually black. He's from a nation which is like a mythical version of Egypt, but he's like a weird Arabic type in the actual comics. Not a lot to talk about. A bunch of excavators, mercenaries in a tomb, and they say the scriptures on the wall, and then The Rock appears.
Yeah, don't really show you much.
And in the actual DC presentation, you see some more of the concept art. So we do see the history of the character. We're going to see ancient, wherever the land is, Kandahar, wherever it was. Not Kandahar, some Kandak, I think it's called, yeah. So there is more context to it. So I guess it will jump around from history to contemporary. But how are they going to tell the story? Is he truly going to be a villain? He did kill that guy in that little clip. Or is it going to be like Scorpion King, where he starts out as a nice guy and we see him just going about his life and his family, and then something happens that kills them all and turns him bad?
He's going to be good. That guy he just killed was probably a bad guy.
Probably that. Cowboy Bebop.
I will say, I like the trailer.
I like what they tried to do with the style, the camera movements, but it has the problem we're mentioning that the Black Phone doesn't. Black Phone looks quality. It looks cinematic and filmic.
Yes.
Bebop does look cheap and digital. Cheap.
but I'm almost willing to go over that because it looks like they've managed to capture the aesthetic, the look, the feel. Now, I've never been a huge fan of the anime.
They captured it on a phone. That's what it looks like.
I don't know if this is a Netflix problem, because like some of their shows do tend to look like this.
Yeah, but you didn't look like that. And that's a simple, basic, they're just there in the suburbs, but it looks quality, has texture to its image. Why does that look like that and this look like this? Like, why does that keep happening?
Well, I don't know if you noticed in You, but like apparently it was quite. I've mentioned it, and lots of people have agreed, but you seem to be out of focus quite a lot. Did you notice that? Especially down the bottom. I thought my TV was like mullered at first.
Sure, that's not sequences where he's just staring at people and it kind of just goes into a little fast.
Like a number of, after I pointed out on one of my forums, other people have come forward and said, yeah, we've noticed the same thing.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Yeah. But the thing with like You is it's grounded, it's based in the real world, whereas this is it's most anime is very stylistic.
Doesn't matter. It's the quality of the image shouldn't look cheap. Just
yeah, I mean, blatantly, I'm looking at it now, and you can tell that sky is like it's like a sound studio type sky.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking, man, but who knows? A lot of people have been speaking positive of what they're seeing, so I guess it's finding its audience. So
if you get beyond that sort of production part of it, I like the camaraderie. I like the banter between the characters. That seemed to go quite well.
Just looks like a fan film to me, man. It really does, but I'll give it a go. I've been a naysayer from the beginning. I know I'm negative, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to try and be positive. I will watch it. Give it a go. This one surprised me, this next one.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it looked more fun than I expected it was going to be. I've recently watched the old Ghostbusters not so long ago. And this kind of does give me the feels of Ghostbusters, even with the kids. I'm like, okay, I can do this. And there's already been screenings and positive word. There have been positive reactions to this.
I am finding it difficult to get enthusiastic about this.
Based on the kids, because of the kids.
It's like it's Ghostbusters the Next Generation, right? Is essentially what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. The granddaughter of Egon finding all that crap.
I mean, the only one I'm getting really excited about seeing on screen is Paul Rudd. And that's because I like him from other things I've seen him in, right?
I love Paul Rudd. I like the idea of seeing these Marshmallow Men coming back. Blended. And the cameos from the original cast, like they're all in there somewhere. So I look forward to seeing them.
They are, but
and Goza's coming back. Demon Dogs are coming back.
But it's like, are the cameos just going to be that? Like they'll pop on, they'll say a couple of words, and they'll fly off into the sunset, or do they have a meaningful part in the movie?
Well, possible spoiler alert, guys. I think we did mention this, but they've got the action figures for all the older versions of the other guys. So it feels like they will. So I think, in my opinion, the narrative, that's true, that's possible, but my feeling is the narrative is these kids are going to discover all this shit, go out on their little trying to be Ghostbusters thing, and then for something, they're going to discover something, probably the Gozer, and they're going to have to recruit the old guys and bring them back in to help them. So it's going to be the old and the young all together fighting against,
And are you just hoping that they're just not putting any of that in the trailer to keep all the surprises
to save all the surprises? That's where they're going. That's how it's going to end. I'm telling you now.
You're gonna be really disappointed, aren't you?
I will if that don't happen. All right, man. Now to the bad boy, the big fish of the trailers this week.
Oh, well, was there an Aquaman trailer?
There was an Aquaman behind the scenes. I'm not. I've already said I'm not going to watch it in the cinemas. I will be gladly bootlegging that. Justice for Johnny. Hell yes. Quote me on that.
No.
Tell Warner Brothers I don't care.
We do not bootleg on this channel.
Justice for Johnny. The Batman.
I will let you. I know you're a huge Batman fan. I will let you go away with your enthusiasm.
Dude, this looks so cool. It looks dark and gray and moody, and Colin Farrell is the best actor ever, just based on what I'm seeing in this. Like, even though Penguin is Colin Farrell, you can't see it. You look at him, I know it's you. You're credited as that character, but I can't see him. I can't hear him, and that's amazing. Not too many actors do that nowadays.
I will just kind of say this just seems like a glorified teaser trailer, which essentially it is, right? It's to give you a glimpse of what the film is about without telling you what the film is actually about, right?
So what
And here's my problem with it. It seems like the Batman films that we've already seen.
But Riddler's back. And the Penguin's back.
Well, John Kerry. Hold on. What do you mean? Jim Carrey's back?
Come on. We haven't got, and it's not a spangly bodysuit with overacting. We actually got a psycho.
I'm sure the film will be really good, and I will kind of enjoy it. But what this trailer looks like is that they've just got like a whole bunch of like really fancy set pieces and some sort of like real good eye candy moments and just chopped them all together.
Which trailers tend to be.
Yes,
that's what.
But it doesn't but there's nothing in here that says, "Come and watch me."
Catwoman, sexy ass Catwoman.
I mean, we're in an age where if I want to see something sexy, I'll just go on my computer and I can see it in seconds.
Yeah.
I don't need to go to the cinema, that type of thing.
Zoe Kravitz don't do it for you. So what would have gotten you excited? What would you have liked?
No, I'm not saying I'm not excited.
No, even just for a trailer, what would you have liked to have seen?
It is obviously the complete opposite of like an MCU movie, right? Here it's dark, it's gritty, there's no humor. The thing that I just do not want to see again is like a moody Batman, like mourning his parents, because honestly, I've had enough of that now.
That's the problem, though. If they tried to do, we had years, old enough to know, we had years of cartoony Batman films, and they were torturous. Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, like they sickened me even as a kid watching those. I couldn't take it.
But then if you think about it, we've had like is this like the 9th Batman movie? We had like was it like 4 originally, then another 3, then I guess you count Superman versus Batman.
Would you be more interested in this if it wasn't Robert Pattinson and it was still Ben Affleck?
No. I've got nothing against Robert Pattinson. He actually does look pretty cool. I will take back like anything I might have said when that was originally casted. When that was originally released. He does seem to look like a Batman. Would I be more interested if it was an Affleck? I don't know.
If it was like the earlier years, because remember he aged himself up to play Batman in BVS and that to be a little older. So if it was just him normally, so it would have been 10 years back.
I don't know. I guess maybe after having seen the Snyder Cut, like knowing that there was like a Affleck Batman movie coming out, might have been like the icing on top of that. Like I say, I'm not trying to poo-poo this. Like I said, the trailer looked really good. I know Uz like absolutely loved it, so he watched it a number of times. I think it's just because I'm not a Batman fan.
I never trust people that say they're not Batman fans. There's always something wrong with them.
I just don't trust people who are Batman fans. Apart from Kevin Smith.
Yes, your Lord and Savior. Not a lot of news this week, guys. So what's trailer of the week for you though?
You know what, the trailer that we haven't done, but like you guys can talk about it on DC Marvel vs. DC is like there was also the was it behind the scenes of The Flash?
Yes. Yeah, that was more I guess you could say like literally teaser. Yeah. A teaser for a teaser.
It's like the fact that the film actually exists and that they're actually filming it.
Yeah, we did get into that. So fandom, check it out, guys. DC vs. Marvel podcast.
Yeah. Right. Let's get into the news.
Trailer of the week.
Oh, trailer of the week. Curb Your Enthusiasm, right? No. No, I'll give it to Batman.
Okay.
I will give it to Batman. That was actually, maybe Peacemaker as well, because that's something that I'm, really looking forward to. And the trailer is really good, and it's coming very, very soon.
Dude, if it got you excited, if it did its job, then that should be what qualifies as being trailer of the week.
Yeah, I know what I'm going to go with Peacemaker because that's I watched that and I was like, that's what I want to see.
All right, I gotta stick with Batman, but I didn't hate Peacemaker, definitely. Yeah. Cannot wait. All right, so like I said, not a lot of news this week, so we're just gonna keep this brief. We've been going for a while anyway, so
So we've had Disney push back a whole bunch of films, and it's not COVID related. Apparently, this is all to do with like production schedule. But Indiana Jones, right? and I never knew how they were going to do this. It was supposed to be coming out June or July of like 2022, like in less than a year, right? It's been pushed back an entire year to like 2023.
Does that give them the ability to maybe shoot more? Was that because of the injury that Harrison Ford had that could have messed up the production, that they're kind of rushing in crunch too much at the moment?
But potentially, so just more like maybe just to get it that perfect, right? Maybe they can do some more reshoots. Maybe they can touch up those effects. Maybe they're doing like rewrites. I think I saw some headlines this week that says on-set pictures confirm time travel element of like Indiana Jones 5.
No, they're just telling it in different eras. They're de-aging him, and he's gonna be old and young. I'm sticking by that. That's what my fault.
Who knows? But yeah, but like a whole.
Indiana Jones has never truly had mystical. Actually, no, it did. It had in the first film. It had the freaking ark in it.
Yeah, it had aliens in number 4.
Oh god, I forgot about that. I don't even acknowledge that.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. The whole thing is mystical. It had like the cup of Christ.
Oh yeah, and it had the knight in the tomb, guarding it for 500 years or whatever. Wow. How did I forget all this?
The whole thing is mystical.
Okay, time travel confirmed. Indiana Jones going back in time.
And then a whole bunch of like the Marvel films are also moving, right? So Doctor Strange has moved from March 6th to May. Thor: Love and Thunder has shifted from June to August. So these aren't huge, by just a couple of months. Yeah. Black Panther 2 has gone from July through to November. So that's obviously quite a large move. And the Marvels, Captain Marvel 2, has shifted from November through to February. And that in turn has pushed Ant-Man through to July.
Ant-Man 3. Okay. Still, man, just hearing them all, that's a lot of movies we're going to be watching.
That is a lot of films. We're still getting them, just a few months delayed.
Yeah, and that doesn't even include all the DC ones that are coming next year. So much.
Absolutely.
I love it. What a time to be alive. Eternals premiere.
Right, so that happened last night. Apparently, didn't realize. Word of mouth on Twitter has obviously has started to come out. Obviously, there is a embargo, so a lot of these are more like I really enjoyed it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if you go to like Variety or Hollywood Reporter, there are so many tweets up on there, right? So you've got things like saying, wow, a lot to unpack. If Marvel movies are the Venn diagram, variations within the overlap, this movie is off the charts, hand down the most different of any of their films.
That's what I heard a lot of. Yeah.
We have been hearing that from Feige, like for the last year or so.
Yeah, and in preparation for seeing Eternals, I actually went out of my way to watch what's the name of that? Chloe Zhao's. I went to check out her previous film, Nomadland. Finally watched it. Yep. So with that style in mind, and you can actually see it in the trailers for Eternals, this very sort of sparse, I won't say cold, but just a cooler tone to the way she makes films and the way that she lets scenes breathe. It kind of, and you can see it in the Eternal stuff. And Nomadland is very good. It doesn't really deserve to be considered, in my opinion, a film. It's more of a documentary that has 2 or 3 actual actors in it playing a role, but everybody else is real people.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into a full Nomadland review or anything, but yeah. So for it to win Best Picture, it should have won Best Documentary, truly honest, because that's more so what it is. But yeah, to put that sort of those qualities into a Marvel film is fascinating to me. So
I like this one actually. Eternals is surprising, epic, beautiful, yet dense. It takes some big swings. Sometimes feels like a DC film, not a criticism. Other times it feels like no other superhero movie ever. I wish I had glowing, quick reaction to offer you, but I'm left with a more complex thoughts. And on the one hand, I hope this isn't being overhyped. But on the other hand, like our expectations were lowered for like Shang-Chi, and then word of mouth hit us to say actually it's really good.
Yeah, I'm still not as excited to watch this, but I'm very much more curious about how, given that, especially since watching Nomadland, just how this could turn out. Especially when they say it's the most unlike a Marvel movie ever made. That's interesting to me. There are some negative ones, aren't there?
If there are, the Variety haven't published them on here, so they're probably lurking on. But you will get that, right? And it would have been nice actually if I'd looked some of those negative ones.
I think off the top of the head, I think one of them said it was a tonal mess or pace. The pacing was just messy and overly convoluted. Industry, I haven't read any that said it was too long, because apparently this is like one of the longest Marvel movies, if not the longest film they've made. But I haven't heard anyone complain about that.
Hold on, one of the wasn't like Endgame Part 2 like almost 3 hours long.
Yeah, almost. I'm gonna make this one the second, but yeah, I'm excited. Well, no, I'm not excited, but I'm very curious.
We're in a couple of weeks away now. This is what, like November 5th,
Smith,
I believe.
Holy crap! Eternals is a freaking masterpiece, packed with adrenaline right from the start, but also filled with lots of heart and humor. So many MCUs first. Your mind will be blown. So that's lofty words right there.
It is indeed, yeah. I think the actual embargo on the reviews is going to be up very soon as well, and it looks like it's going to be up almost 2 weeks before the actual film comes out. So again, they are very, very confident about this film.
Yeah, I'm curious to know I'm actually more curious to know what the hell the post-credit scene is going to be. So I just want to know where the entire universe is going from this point.
Did I hear there are going to be 2 post-credit sequences?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. They should warn us. There should be like when the film ends, there should be like a little dots in the corner of the thing with like little check marks. See, there's going to be 1 or 2 trailers.
Doesn't matter. I bet Fahey sits there and thinks like, how many people, like, how long can we keep doing this for before we just stop doing it? And how long will people continue to sit there?
It happens even in regular films that I've seen in the cinema that aren't Marvel or DC, that aren't superhero films. People will still stick around in the cinema. I think with Free Guy, people did it.
I mean, some people like see the end credits as part of the film, right? And apparently it's disrespectful to leave before the credits are over.
Yeah, those are like people with class. We're talking like teenagers here. Like they've been trained to stay their ass put.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fascinating. All right, maybe. I might actually start getting a little excited for this. Maybe.
You're gonna love it, Eddie. You're probably gonna be like saying this was like even better than Dune.
That would be amazing if that happened. God, the design in Dune, though, man. The cities, the buildings, the vehicles. Damn. All right. So, Mo, if they want to get in contact with us, how can they do so?
Right, folks, if you want to email us, we are at tatmpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to tweet us, we are Talking Movies 3. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, we are Talking the Movies.
Guys, if you saw Dune, let us know. Am I wrong? Am I overhyping it? Did you feel it was just a boring mess? Tell us.
I will be back hopefully with my views next week.
Definitely will. He definitely will. He's definitely going to see it. Isn't that right, man? Say it. I commit to it now.
I'm definitely going to try and see it this weekend. Almost certainly, maybe, somehow. Perhaps. Right.
So, for me, the race.
And me, Mo.
Catch you guys next week.
See you, folks.